What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of Life's a Garden. If you haven't yet, please subscribe and follow on all platforms, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, everywhere you can get your podcasts. Tell a friend, spread the word, help grow this garden. It is very much appreciated. Today's positive, motivational message is good things come to those that wait. Patience, essentially. You have to be patient when it comes to the best things in life. Now, some things come easily. Some things come unexpectedly. Some of the things that you've never even thought you wanted in life just happen upon you. And then there are those things that you yearn for. The things that you have missed, or the things that you have just wanted in life. And if you wait, if you believe, if you have that trust and that hope and that faith that those things will happen, in time, they will. You just have to stay steadfast. You have to stay strong in your conviction. Don't stray away. Don't. If it doesn't come as quickly as you had hoped, don't turn your back. Don't give up on it. Stay patient. And those things will soon come. They will eventually happen for you. You just have to stay patient and still believe. And with that, let's take it in to today's episode. It's episode 234 of Life's a Garden. Yeah, cracking open a cold one, but not our typical cold one. Of course, we're doing LaCroix, a refreshing LaCroix, because dry January is still fully in effect. Yeah, that's nice. Feeling great. Feeling awesome, actually. Like, incredible. Sticking to it. We're 10 days fully in. It's going exactly the way I had planned. The plan is fully in effect. I feel great mentally. Like, just so clear. Productive, motivated, I'm not procrastinating on shit. I honestly, like, remembering things better. Like, there's things I need to do throughout the week or throughout the day, and a lot of the times they just slip my mind, and then the next day I'm like, fuck, I forgot to do that yesterday, or or it's just like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, like, just postponing shit, putting shit off. It's just so much clearer. Everything is just so clear, and I love it. And now, and that started almost instantly, really. That was like 4 days in. I was starting to get the clear-mindedness, and that's only gotten better. But now, the physical aspect of things is starting to show. Sleeping better. Like, I went to bed at like it was about 11 o'clock last night, 11:30. I was up and at 'em at 7:30 this morning. Like, fully ready to go. I was up, I made breakfast. I've been eating healthy. I've been eating cleaner, There's been a few things here and there that I've somewhat slipped on. I'm not doing the sweets. Sweets are out. Obviously, beer is out. Now, I have been doing the NA beers, which contain about the same amount of carbs, which still not great, but definitely been drinking less than I would have if I just was drinking normal Coors Lights. So that's a positive. been implementing way more fruits and vegetables, less carbs, less sugar, less artificial sugar. Just and the biggest thing is less fake shit, less processed foods, which is phenomenal. Like, we're 10 days in, right? Yeah, 10 days in. The first week, I didn't really do much about the eating. I've probably been eating pretty solidly clean for the last 4 days, it feels like. And so when you filter out the booze, and now you're filtering out the bad food, like, I'm shitting solid for once. Dude, for real? There was a solid month and a half. It was strictly diarrhea. Always. There was no question how my shits were gonna be. It was straight diarrhea. Solid shits now. I can feel my gut just is working properly. You know, it's like you cleaned out the pipes. Less inflammation. I'm less sore in general. I'm less, like I would get cramped up really bad a lot of the times. None of that. Acid reflux, gone. I was getting daily acid reflux. I haven't had acid reflux in 2 weeks. Not once. So physically, I'm feeling great. And energized. So the mental clarity is there. I'm feeling motivated. And now I feel energy. Like, I feel like I'm ready to just go do shit and get shit done. Now, that's the internal physical side. We've conquered the mental. The internal physical is it's up there. We're getting up there. It's not there yet, but you can tell it's happening. Now the next step is the external physical, working out. It's time to start pumping some iron, getting back in the gym. I've already got the whole gym cleared out. It's ready to go whenever I'm ready to get in there. And I can tell you right now, based on the way I feel internally, I'm ready to go. It's on. So starting Monday, well, today, the day that this comes out, the workout routine begins. And I'm not talking every other day. We're going straight in, daily workouts. Obviously, I'm not going to be an idiot. I'm going to, work my way into it. I'm not just going to go full, all the weight right at once. I'm going to build myself back up because it has been a while. It's been, God, I hate to say this, 6 months? Over 6 months? There was a small time in the summer that I got back on the train for a couple weeks, and then I fell off immediately. And I feel like if I implement this routine, eating better, working out, when I do decide to go back to drinking, which hopefully by then I will have broke the regular routine of doing it all the time. It'll become less frequent. And once football season's over, let me tell you, that's way less reasons to go out and stay out. So that'll be a huge thing. We're getting January out of the way. That's pretty much all football right there. So by then, I'm hoping it'll be less frequent of going out drinking. And when I do, I'm hoping, because physically and mentally and in every way, it doesn't affect me as heavily. You know what I'm saying? Now that seems, if this track just keeps going, I might continue on into February. You know, why not? Why not keep the train moving? If I'm feeling this good, why go back to the thing that makes me feel bad? You know what I mean? So we'll see. We're going to play it by ear. But for now, we're still in the throes of things, middle of January, and we're sticking to it. Another thing I've noticed that has just been absolutely great. Obviously, no hangovers. That shit sucks. Anytime you wake up and it's not necessarily the head part of it. It's you're just exhausted. You're drained. And I don't miss that one bit. I like waking up and not feeling like shit. Crazy, right? What a crazy notion. I don't want to wake up and just have no interest whatsoever of getting out of bed. Like, I like being able to just roll out of bed and be like, all right, what's on the docket today? Let's make some breakfast. Let's get moving. I like that. In addition, one thing I didn't realize was being affected so severely by alcohol. Before, like when I would go to bed, when I was getting ready to go to bed, I would have this internal dialogue of dread, of like, it was like self-hatred, you know? It was like this, what are you doing with your life? Or like, God, you're such, like, why are you doing this? Why? And it might not necessarily be just booze related, but like, oh, you're an idiot for this, or you need to start doing this more. It was a lot of, just a lot of self-destructiveness, a lot of like self-hate was seeping in late at night. You know, you're out there having fun. It's a great time. You're boozed up. You're feeling good. Then you get home. You're laying your head down on the pillow, and you're like, God, is this really what it's all about? Like, is this what I'm doing with my life? Like, I feel nothing. I feel so useless. That doesn't happen no more. I have not felt that one time when laying down to go to bed. I'm excited to go to bed. I'm like, shit, this is going to be great. Had a great day. Get to rest up the body. And we get to start it all over again in the morning. You know? So that part has been excellent. So, overall, dry January update. It is rock solid. Feeling amazing. And on top of that, not only do I feel amazing for some of these life choices, I feel amazing because for the first time in 9 years, my Denver Broncos have made the playoffs. Playoffs? Playoffs? We're talking about playoffs? You're damn fucking right. We're talking about playoffs. I've been doing this podcast for almost 5 years now. 5 years. Like, we're about 4.5 years into this thing. A little over 4.5. We're coming into our 5th year. Not one time since I've been doing this podcast have I been able to say that the Denver Broncos are in the playoffs. Think about that. That's crazy. I've been doing this podcast for 234 episodes. And not one time in those 234 episodes have I been able to say the Denver Broncos are in the playoffs. In fact, if we were on episode 460, I wouldn't have been able to say that. How crazy is that? We'd be just starting to approach 500 before I would have been able to say, if I would have started this after the day, like if I would have started this the week before we won the Super Bowl, since that time, or how about, no, the week after. If I would have started this podcast the week after we won the Super Bowl, the last time we won the Super Bowl, I wouldn't have been able to say that that the Broncos were in the playoffs that entire time. Is that crazy? Isn't that nuts? My band didn't exist the last time the Broncos were in the playoffs. I didn't live in this house the last time the Broncos were in the playoffs. I have friends, my buddy Pow, who I've been friends with for, it seems like forever. You know, we've been friends for a very long time. He told me that this weekend is the first time him and I will be able to watch a Broncos playoff game together. I mean, that's just crazy to me. But finally, we have got the monkey off our back. We broke the streak. We had the second longest playoff drought in the NFL. That's done. We did it. And I got my wish. I was talking about this weeks ago. That all I wanted was the Broncos to make the playoffs. And God love him. God save it. We did it. We did it. I mean, it's such a great feeling. And as I said in the beginning, good things come to those that wait. I would never have dreamt of abandoning the Broncos. It never even crossed my mind, even at the worst times. Some of those seasons, they were terrible. They were hard to watch. You go through a whole football season and sometimes you watch your team win 4 or 5 games. Discouraging. There's plenty of fan bases out there that know what I'm talking about. It's discouraging. And all you ever want is just a chance for to move forward in the playoffs, to try and win a championship. Just a chance. For 9 years, we didn't have that. And now it's finally here. And it's been a long wait, but I waited patiently, and it's so gratifying. It means honestly more. Think about teams like the Steelers or the Packers or the Chiefs or the Ravens. These are teams that have consistently been able to make the playoffs year after year after year. So if you're a fan of those teams, this is like, yeah, of course. Like, oh, yeah, this is pretty normal. We're used to this. This isn't out of the realm of normality. For us, for Broncos fans, for Lions fans, now granted the last few years the Lions have been very good, but throughout a lifetime of being a Lions fan, for Vikings fans, Chargers fans, there's teams that don't make the playoffs very often. It's so gratifying, and it's so relieving, and it's such a great feeling just to know, hey, we get to go into some January football. It's not over for us. We still get more ball to watch, and we have an opportunity to try and win a championship. It's a great feeling. Now, I want to address a couple of things when it comes to this playoff. Let's first talk about the fact that the Broncos beat the Chiefs. Not just beat them, absolutely obliterated them. 38-0. Was it 38 or 36? I don't remember. 36 maybe? Either way. I think it was 38. Whatever. Destroyed them. Shut them out. I honestly think this is the first time since Patrick Mahomes has been the quarterback for the Chiefs that they've ever been shut out. You might have to look that up, but I think it is. Either way, check that off the list. All I ever want for a season is to beat the Chiefs, have a winning record, and make the playoffs. Everything after that is cake. That's all I ever want. And we did all 3 of those things. Now, keep in mind, the Chiefs did in fact sit pretty much all their starters. We were playing a backup squad, which, if you're a good team, you should destroy a backup squad like that. You should dominate them the way we did. Any other great team in this league would have done the same thing. So I don't take anything away from our team. We did exactly what we needed to do. And I understand why the Chiefs did what they did. They want to rest their guys up for the playoffs. They already get a bye week. There's nothing left for them to play for. Why risk injuring anybody? Totally understandable. But then you have these Bengals fans out here bitching and moaning and complaining about, well, this is bullshit. The Chiefs just laid down for the Broncos and just let them walk into the playoffs. Like, we deserve to be there. We should have gotten in there. We beat the Broncos. They don't deserve it. Let me tell you something. Bengals fans out there, you had a chance to beat the Chiefs. You played the Chiefs in week 2, and you lost. You could have... You know why you didn't make the playoffs? It's not because the Chiefs laid down. It's not because the Broncos were handed the keys to the playoffs. We won our games. We could have been in the playoffs 3 weeks ago and we wouldn't even be having this conversation. We did everything we needed to do to ensure our chances of making the playoffs. You know who didn't? You. You didn't win enough games. That's how this works. If you would have won, hell, one more game throughout the rest of the season, you lost to the Patriots in week 1. You dropped one to the Chiefs, and you're going to say the Chiefs laid down? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm no Chiefs fan. I fucking hate the Chiefs. I wish you would have beat the Chiefs. Although, if you had, we wouldn't be in the playoffs. So I'm glad you lost to them. You can't sit here and try and be like, whoa, win more games. Simple as that. Your defense fucking sucks. That's why you didn't make it in. Joe Burrow, an absolute beast. Jamar Chase, incredible. Like, their offense has it. I think Joe Burrow deserves the MVP still, even though they didn't make the playoffs. I think he's beyond the best team on that, or the best player on that team. That team would be absolute dog shit if it weren't for him. He's the MVP. But if your defense was a little bit better, then you would have been fine. But that's not the case. So I just want to put that to rest. I'm so sick and tired of hearing Bengals fans be like, this is bullshit, blah, blah, blah. No, we did our part. We did what we needed to do. And let's not forget, almost beat your asses as well. Almost beat the Bengals. If it weren't for a goddamn coin flip, well, it was more than that. We lost that game. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But it was that fucking close. So don't act like you just had our number this whole time. Now, beyond that, let's talk about this upcoming game. Because this is being recorded before the games happen. None of the playoff games have happened yet. Obviously, this will come out afterwards. I want to talk about this Broncos-Bills matchup. Tough matchup. I have full respect for the Buffalo Bills. I really like Josh Allen. I like the Bills franchise. I like the Bills fan base. They're a very loyal fan base, much like the Broncos. They have never won a Super Bowl. They've always been a team that I've rooted for when the Broncos aren't included. If the Broncos haven't made the playoffs, I root for the Bills. And here we are at this juncture now, where it's a team that I've been rooting for in the playoffs, playing against my team. Of course, obviously, I'm going to root for my team. I want my team to win. Also, Von Miller. Von Miller is on the Bills, our Super Bowl MVP, one of my all-time favorite players to ever put on a Broncos uniform. We will have to play against him, and just like he said, full circle. Really, this is best case scenario for me as a fan, because yes, it will suck to lose in the playoffs, but at least it's to a team that I don't absolutely despise, and a team that I would hope can move forward beyond this week if they do beat us. Call me delusional, call me, bias. That's fair. I think we have a chance. I don't think that we're for sure going to win this game, but I think it'd be crazy to say that we don't have a chance. Amari Cooper might not be playing. They really don't have a ton of great receivers. The whole game relies on Josh Allen and James Cooks. That's it. Though, if we can shut those two guys down, game's over. I mean, obviously, if you shut down the running back we just have to win the line of scrimmage. That's it. Josh Allen's going to get his shit done. He's going to get some passes off. He's going to scramble. That's going to happen. But so long as we can limit that, we have one of the best defenses in the league. It's going to come down to whether or not our offense can get something going. And shout out to Bo Nix. Shout out to the rookie quarterback that nobody believed in, that everybody thought was a bust. Nobody thought he was going to be NFL caliber. He was the last quarterback taken in the class. Shout out to him for coming out and just blocking out all the noise and finally giving Broncos fans something to look forward to. A franchise quarterback that we can get behind, trust, and believe in. Believe in. We believe in Bo Nix. And shout out to Sean Payton. Sean Payton in 2 years, just took a team of misfits. If you weren't a Broncos fan, like if you're not a Broncos fan, even to this day, we just had a full season. To this day, I bet you can't name 5 Broncos that aren't Patrick Surtain or Bo Nix. I guarantee you. If you're like not invested in the Broncos, like I'm not invested in a lot of teams, but I could name you 5 players on every single team. I mean, maybe not the Panthers. That's a tough one. But we have a lot of really good players that people just don't know about. We have 5 players that were voted first and second team All-Pro. That's unbelievable. We have one of the best O-lines. We have one of the best defenses. Our offensive weapons are spotty at times, but they're underrated. So I'm just saying, I'm not sitting here saying that we're definitely going to win this game, but I wouldn't count them out. Don't count them out. We could shock the world. It would be amazing for that to happen. If it doesn't, I am still proud of this team. I still am just so grateful that they have given me hope again. To think that there is a shot down the road, that we are building towards something finally. So, if we do lose this weekend, I'm still grateful. It was a great season. And if we win, man, what an upset. What a great upset. And then we can go on and play the Chiefs and beat their ass and knock. The Chiefs even said, somebody on the Chiefs even said, who's this team that you don't want to play the most in the playoffs? Somebody said the Denver Broncos, because they've seen it twice. They've seen what our defense can do. They've seen how underrated Bo Nix has been. They've felt the pressure of playing against us. And 2 weeks off for those starters, that might not necessarily be a great thing. So, I hope we can play the Chiefs. How incredible would that be if we got to be the ones to knock the Chiefs out of the playoffs? Nothing could feel better. Oh, what a great time. The Broncos finally have made the playoffs. And my dick's so fucking hard about it. And I promise you, it's not just because I haven't nutted in 10 days. Which, by the way, I forgot to mention that with the dry January. The wiener's been dry too. Honestly, more surprising that still haven't looked at pornography. Fuck, huge pat on the back. Haven't yerked off even. I mean, I know that's tough. I'm shocked. I'm as shocked as anybody. 10 days. Hey, that probably, I mean, the testosterone is just fucking flowing. I'm so pent up. That's why the workouts are going to be incredible. No, it's... Anyway, yeah. I do want to, before moving off the subject of playoffs, I would like to give my predictions for this. Now, obviously, like I said, this will come out afterwards, but this is being recorded beforehand. So, here are my predictions, my official predictions for this week. I'm not going to go all the way to the Super Bowl. We'll just predict this week's games. Chargers, Texans. I'm taking the Chargers. Texans have looked like absolute dog shit lately. Jim Harbaugh, he's got something going on in LA with the Chargers. I like the Chargers. Steelers, Ravens, taking the Ravens. Ravens are probably like top 3 candidates to go to the Super Bowl. And the Steelers look like absolute dog shit. Hey, welcome to the Russell Wilson era. The Russell Wilson error. We've seen this story play out. Broncos fans are watching the way Russ is playing lately, and nobody's surprised. Broncos, Bills, I shouldn't even be picking this. You already know where I'm going. I'm going to pick the Broncos. I'll never not pick the Broncos. Packers, Eagles. I'm going to take the Eagles. This one has upset written all over it, though. Don't be surprised if the Packers actually pull off an upset. Because, I don't know. There's something about the Eagles that I'm not fully invested in. However, they still have a great team. That's why I'm picking the Eagles. Commanders, Buccaneers, taking the Bucs. Baker Mayfield, I'm so impressed with what he's done. I love that he's having this rejuvenated career. I'm taking the Bucs. Vikings, Rams, another one to watch. This one also could have upset written all over it. But I am going to take the Vikings. I throw last week out of there. That might even fuel them. The Rams are kind of sneaky good, though. So, I'm taking the Vikings still. But that one could. The 3 biggest upset games of the week, I think. The Rams over the Vikings, the Packers over the Eagles, and the Broncos over the Bills. Those are the ones to keep an eye on. I don't think if the Texans beat the Chargers, that's much of an upset. If the Steelers beat the Ravens, that's an upset. I just don't see that happening. And then Commanders, Bucks, I don't see that being an upset either way. So, those are my predictions. We'll see how right I am. And then we'll predict next week as well. I also apologize if I'm sniffling. I got a little bit of a leaky faucet going on here. So, my apologies if you're hearing me sniffle a little bit. See, it's all this clean eating. It's all my body's not used to actually functioning properly, so it's like it doesn't know what to do with itself. And the fluids aren't coming out of this end, so I guess they're deciding they're going to come out of this end. Also, in the football realm, I should mention, hey, what a time for me to have hitched my wagon to the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Last week, I officially pronounced on this show that I am officially part of the Fighting Irish fan base. I know it seems suspect for me to choose them now that they're in the playoffs and going to a national championship. It's strictly luck. I was thinking about this weeks ago. Because I have witnesses that can testify to the fact that I said I've been thinking about just going all in on the Irish, because I felt like I needed to have a college team. I've been needing that forever, and they were always one that were in the running, and you can go back and watch. I proclaimed before they made it to the national championship that's who I was riding for. And it was not a close, it was not that far off from them not making the playoffs. It was a great game against Penn State. Great game. So now it will be Notre Dame versus Ohio State for the national championship. I'm kind of glad it's Ohio State. Not because I think that Notre Dame necessarily can just whip their ass, because Ohio State's looking scary. I thought Notre Dame had a better chance against Texas than they do Notre Dame, but I like Texas. I do not like Ohio State. So at least I will for sure be like, hey, there's no consolation here. If we lose to Ohio State, I'm pissed. Notre Dame, I'm all in. And hey, you know what? Who's to say? This is the first time Notre Dame has made it to the national championship since 1988. I've never been alive during a Notre Dame national championship appearance. Who's to say I didn't help put them over? Adding me to the vibrational fan base, to that energy, pushing that energy out there for Notre Dame, who's to say I didn't help put it over? You know what I mean? The second I decide to become a fan, they win their first playoff game, their second playoff game, and now they're going to the national championship. I mean, seems a little bit more than coincidence to me. Just putting that out there. Also in the college football realm, the MSU Bobcats. Montana State University, here in my home state of Montana, lost a heartbreaker to North Dakota State, who claimed their 10th title, their 10th national championship. I'm a Montana Grizz fan. I'm a U of M Grizz fan. But I'll never root for NDSU. It's really hard for me to root for the Bobcats. It's such a rivalry. But it's still Montana. It's still my state. I would never root against them for North Dakota, especially. The juggernaut. Especially in my lifetime. And the one time I decide to root for the Bobcats, they fucking choke. They were undefeated this year. And they go into the championship and fucking lose. So you know what I have to say about that? Fuck the Bobcats. You fucked me. I was rooting for you. I'm a Grizz fan. I wanted you to win. And even then, you fuck me? What the fuck, dude? What the fuck? Bobcats? I'm done with you. Tommy Malotte's gone. You guys are done. Enter a brand new era. The Grizz are fucking coming for you. And I hope we whip your ass next year. Just to so you guys know what fuck-ups you are. The state of Montana is absolutely disappointed with you. Now, granted, the Grizz lost last year, but the Cats have been there twice. And they lost both of them. You're absolute disappointments to the state of Montana. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. Moving on from football, because we've talked a lot about football, which is, I don't care. You know, like, tis the season. It is time. We are in playoff time, where college football national championship is coming up. And then we have NFL playoffs. This is one of my favorite times of the year. So I don't care how long I talk about it. You're just gonna have to deal with it. And of course, you know, why wouldn't I if my team is finally there? I mean, I'm here to celebrate. This is a great time to be alive for me. But we will move on because we have other things to discuss. First of all, these LA fires. This shit's crazy. Like, it's January, first of all. Which I know. LA, it's dry, or it doesn't get cold. But normally it's the summertime that you would expect these wildfires to be really going crazy. It's not out of the realm of possibility for obviously this to happen. It's not like the most unusual thing. But it's a little unusual. Now, dude, I've heard it all. I've heard all the conspiracies. I've heard all the, whatever. I don't think that that's what's happening. I don't think there's anything to conspiracize about. I think this is a natural disaster. I do think it's a little odd that there's several of them in different places. That they would all happen simultaneously. And it's not like they're so close together. They're pretty spread apart. That seems a bit odd to me. I don't know if it's arson. I don't know what the fuck. It's obviously a very unfortunate circumstance with the winds carrying these flames so rapidly. Dude, it's crazy. There's fire on the Hollywood sign. If this isn't like proclamation, if this isn't divine proclamation, I don't know what else is. Like, Hollywood has notoriously, especially over the last few years, the last decade, I would say, become an absolute cesspool. This is the place that has promoted so much agenda and tried to, tried to insert itself in so much of our social and political, even just all of that shit. When they used to just be entertainment, it was all meant to be entertainment, and all that shit, our entertainment has gone completely downhill. There's no good entertainment anymore. It's all being just destroyed by social political issues and things like that. You can't just separate art from culture and stuff like that anymore. And now it's burning to the ground. And that feels very poetic in a way. Now I'm not sitting here being one of those guys. I'm not one of those ones that's glad this is happening. I'm not somebody that is like, I mean, it's pretty sick to me, the amount of people that are like, fuck these celebrities, like, fuck, like, their homes burned down, like, they're rich, they could buy another one, fuck them, blah, blah, blah. No. First of all, out of the thousands of homes that have burned to the ground, I'm sure, like, a very small portion of those are celebrities. There's other people that's home, like, innocent people, just normal people. I'm sure they're fucking rich, because you gotta be to live in LA. But still, it's not just material stuff. I was thinking about if my home burnt down, dude, I have so many, like, there's no way I could grab everything that means something to me in this house. Like, it would be devastating. Pictures, I got family ashes in the house. I have, band stuff. There's so much stuff in here that would be lost and missed, and I'd never get it back. And that's happening to these people too. I mean, yes, they are celebrities. They're, say what you will about all that. They're still people. You can't wish ill against people like that. Because when you're doing that, you're also you're pretty much saying the same about the people that aren't celebrities that are losing their homes too. And I don't like that. I don't like to see destruction and pain inflicted onto people, whether they deserve it or not. Whether you believe they deserve it or not. I don't like to see that. Just like the same people that were, like, applauding that CEO getting killed. I don't want anybody to die. Was he a piece of shit? Probably. I don't know. I didn't know the guy. But he had a family. He was a human. He had thoughts and feelings and emotions. Did he do some shitty stuff? I can only imagine. Did he deserve to die? I'm not here to say that. I can't. No. Judgment falls upon everybody at some point in their time. But we are not to be the judge. We are not. That is not for us to decide. Just because you think somebody is a bad person does not give you the right to cast the judgment on them. Like an eternal judgment. You can judge them, but you can't pass judgment upon them. So the same goes for these fires. I have seen things where there were like people setting fires. Now, do I think that it all started that way? Possibly. I don't know. But I do know that there were people like adding to it. They were just doing it to be fucking agents of chaos, like continuing to burn other things, which is absolutely fucked up. All this stuff about the fire hydrants being dry and, blaming the government and stuff. I don't know any of that stuff. I've heard it all. I don't think this is a time for political squabble just yet. I do think that there's probably been some things that have been mishandled throughout a lot of stuff, like throughout everything. I mean, when you know that LA is a pretty popular place for these fires to happen, like it's been happening annually. We've seen pretty devastating fires for the last 5 years pop up in LA. Not to this extent, but you know that it's possible. So why wouldn't you be overly prepared for that to happen? So obviously there's been some missteps in trying to prevent this from happening. But it's not the time to point fingers. It's not a time to make a political statement. People are hurting. People are, have lost everything. This is not the time for that. So that's pretty much where I'm at with all this. It sucks. It's terrible. I'm not here saying like celebrities, they deserve it. Like, fuck them. No, come on. Like, now one theory I did hear, which was wild, and I don't believe it, but it's one of those ones. It's one of those conspiracies that, is a little fun to think might be real. The whole Epstein and Diddy list, it's like, is it that crazy? Is what's on that list? Is it so crazy that they would burn the entire town down to get rid of any evidence? Maybe. If it means destroying an entire city to keep a few people from to keep evidence away that would put people's careers and livelihoods in jeopardy, would they do it? Maybe. Just maybe. Do I think that's the case? Probably not, but God, who knows? Who knows? They're all capable of something. But anyway, thoughts with everybody in LA. I'm not here to see destruction. Nobody wants that, and nobody deserves it. I'll say that right now. On a lighter note, your boy met, speaking of celebrities, your boy met a TikTok celebrity. If anybody out there is familiar with the guy that goes, "What? No way. Fuck's sake." I got to meet that guy. He was here in Billings. My buddy Craig, who I work with. Okay, so the What No Way guy was getting tint done on his Chevelle. He's been doing like car stuff too with the TikToks. Obviously, he does like the DIY, like basically testing out, like kind of a Mythbusters guy with DIY shit. And he's also been doing some car content, apparently. He's like restoring this old Chevelle, and he was getting tint put on the windows from a guy here in town, the tint guy, who my buddy Craig got his windows tinted from because he's a buddy. He saw that they were advertising that this guy was going to be there. So we took a little bit of a lunch break, went down, and met the guy. Super nice guy, way taller than I would have expected. I don't know what I expected. If you couldn't tell by his accent, he's from Canada. Alberta is where he's from. I didn't ask where in Alberta, but super nice guy, you know. I thought it was funny that he told us like that he was getting death threats. Like, and that's just the internet for you. You know, even a guy as innocent as that getting hate and death threats. It's like, what could this guy have done to deserve that? But that's just the internet for you. But overall, like, we told him, hey man, your content's cool. We appreciate it. It's always fun to watch. And he's like, he genuinely felt, or he expressed what I felt to be genuine appreciation for saying that. Because I think he probably, you know, the internet's a toxic place. I can only imagine the most innocent of content creators get hatred and get, you know, just the worst things said about them. And it sucks. But even this guy, he was getting shit like that, which I thought was, what the hell is that noise? I think my neighbors are doing some construction. I'm hearing pounding outside. But no, it was cool to meet that guy. Never met a TikTok guy before, so check that off the list. But yeah, super nice guy. I guess he's going down to, he's like making a road trip to Florida for some car show, and like he's making stops along the way. I don't know if he's like doing upgrades to his car all the way along the way, but that'd be pretty cool. And he's filming his whole, he's documenting his whole trip. So go follow the What No Way guy on TikTok and Instagram. Do it on TikTok now because it's going away soon, apparently. Looks like TikTok's gonzo January 19th. Unless they come up with a group that can buy it out, but I don't necessarily foresee that happening. We'll see. Not that I care that much. One more bit of business before we let you guys go here. Started playing a new video game. Not a new video game. It's a game that's been out a very long time. Red Dead Redemption 2. When you're not drinking, when you don't go out as often as you did before, you need things to occupy your time. So, I knew video games were a great choice to occupy my time. It's something that I can be like invested in and like want to do. It's like, oh god, I can't wait to go home and beat the next mission and like progress the game. Usually when I do that, I kind of like, I'll play for like 1 or 2 days and then give up on it because I just get bored or I'm just not as invested in it as I thought I would be. Red Dead Redemption 2, right there. This bad boy, it's got my attention. I'm invested. And it's keeping me out of the bars. It's something during the week that I can get excited about, where I don't have to like feel the urge to go out and like, obviously I'm still not drinking, but the urge to go spend money and waste time, basically, I can do this, which is also kind of a time waste, but at least it's home. I get to be home and do it. Now the weekends are still for football. We don't give up on that. I love football. I'm going to watch playoff football, whether it's my team or not, all the way up to the Super Bowl, which the Super Bowl will probably be my like, it'll be my off the wagon party. It'll probably be the first time I actually decide to have a couple of cold ones. And that seems fair. I mean, that's over a month. But we'll see. It's all in due time. Patience, my friends. Patience. And yeah. So other than that, that's pretty much it. I guess I could, since we've really been talking about sports, I could kind of talk about the Nuggets and the Avalanche real quick. Nuggets, okay, so the Avalanche were looking pretty sour for a while there. They got a new goalie, is it Blackman? Blackwood. Since we got that goalie, it's been a full turnaround. Avs are looking great. Where are we standing at now? The Avs have been doing a great job. Full turnaround for them. The Nuggets, still a work in progress. Avalanche standings. Ooh, they play today. Okay. Still, we're 4th in the Central Division. And tied with like 1, 2, 3 teams at 53 points. So it's a big game today. Who do they play today? Winnipeg? Good team. Okay, that's a big game. That'll be fun. Probably go watch that too. Nuggets won last night. Both Jokic and Westbrook got doubled or triple doubles. Westbrook is the guy. I've always liked Russell Westbrook. I fucking love that guy. I'm so glad he's on our team. First ballot Hall of Famer, for sure. So, the Nuggets hopefully will start. They're still up there. They're 4th in the West, I believe. But it's such a tight race that it could swap any time now. Like that, it's that close. I don't think there's any worries that the Nuggets are going to make the playoffs, but they need to play better. And if I'm telling you right now, if the Nuggets trade Michael Porter Jr. before the trade deadline, we're fucked. We're cooked. They cannot trade him. He is the second best player on our team. Russell Westbrook right now is the third best player. You got to keep them all together. You got to keep them all together. If you want to trade him after this season, fine. But you cannot do it now. Not now. And that's all I got to say about that. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Very much appreciate it. Remember, patience is a virtue. Wait. Wait and good things will come. I waited 9 years for my Denver Broncos to make the playoffs. And it was a long struggle. It was tough. But here we are. On the positive side of things. And it feels great. Go Broncos. Can't wait for some playoff ball. Oh, we got UFC fights next weekend too. That'll be fun. First card of the year. Lots of good sports stuff going on. Go Notre Dame. Yeah. And prayers to the LA Fire people. And anybody affected in the LA fires. Hope everybody's good and hope for the best for all of you. But with that, even in tragedy, we can still say that life's a garden. Dig it.
Just gotta keep on, keep on.